यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा नित्य गौर हरि बोल bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रभुजीकाचार्य स्तोत्रोष्ट श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु सेवर द होल वर्ल्ड ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रभुजीकाचार्य स्तोत्रोष्ट श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत श्री ठाकुर महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद के नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर के प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी वृंद की श्री पंच तत्व की प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव भगवान की मायापुर धाम की बिंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namah. Granthra Srimad-Bhāgavatam, second canto, chapter number 8. Name of the chapter is Questions by King Parīkṣit, verse number 4. śṛṇvataḥ śraddhayā nityam gṛṇataś sva-ceṣṭitam kālena ati-dīrgheṇa bhagavān viśate hṛdi śṛṇvataḥ śraddhayā nityam gṛṇataś sva-ceṣṭitam kālena ati-dīrgheṇa bhagavān viśate hṛdi śṛṇvataḥ śraddhayā nityam gṛṇataś sva-ceṣṭitam kālena ati-dīrgheṇa bhagavān viśate hṛdi. Bhagavān viśate hṛdi śṛṇvataḥ śraddhayā nityam gṛṇataś sva-ceṣṭitam kālena ati-dīrgheṇa bhagavān viśate hṛdi. Matajis. śṛṇvataḥ śraddhayā nityam gṛṇataśya sva-ceṣṭitam kālena ati-dīrgheṇa bhagavān viśate hṛdi. Word by word meaning, translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. śṛṇvataḥ, of those who hear. śraddhayā, in earnestness. nityam, regularly. Always. gṛṇataḥ, taking the matter. cha, also. sva-ceṣṭitam, seriously, by one's own endeavor. Bhagavān, kālena, duration. Not. ati-dīrgheṇa, very prolonged time. Bhagavān, the personality of Godhead Śrī Kṛṣṇa. viśate, becomes manifest. hṛdi, within one's heart. Translation. Persons who hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Śrī Kṛṣṇa manifested in their hearts within a short time. Can kindly repeat. Persons who hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead Śrī Kṛṣṇa manifested in their hearts within a short time. Purport. Chief devotees or materialistic devotees of the Lord are very much desirous to see the Lord personally without meeting the requisite qualifications. Such third-grade devotees should know well that material attachment and the seeing the Lord face to face cannot go together. It is not such a mechanical process that the professional Bhagavatam reciters can do the job on behalf of the third-grade materialistic pseudo-devotee. The professional men are useless in this connection because they are neither self-realized nor interested in the liberation of the audience. They are simply interested in maintaining the material establishment of the family attachment and earning some material benefits out of the profession. Mahārāja Parīkṣit had no more than 7 days to live, but for others, Mahārāja Parīkṣit personally recommends that one hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam regularly, nityam, always, by one's own effort and with serious devotion also. That will help one to see Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa manifested in one's heart within no time. The pseudo-devotee, however, is very anxious to see the Lord according to his whims, not making any serious effort to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam regularly and without detachment from material benefit. That is not the way recommended by an authority like Mahārāja Parīkṣit, who heard and benefited by hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Om ajñānatimirandhasya jnānanjana shalakaya chakshur unmilitam yena tasmai shri guruve namaha Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati sva-padantikam vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधु भयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all, and I find myself highly fortunate to be given this opportunity to serve Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the holy dham of Sri Mayapur. So thank you very much. And before I start, I'd like to take blessings from all the devotees, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, especially His Holiness Bhakti Prabhu Swami Maharaj. He is my mentor. So please bless me so that this is a very important verse, very instructive verse, so that we can, Parīkṣit Maharaj is giving very wonderful instructions. So please bless me that I can deliver the appropriate message and the right consciousness which can please all the devotees and purify my heart. Now, śṛṇvataḥ śraddhayā nityam gṛṇataś sva-ceṣṭitam kālena ati-dīrgheṇa bhagavān viśate hṛdi. When we go to Vrindavan, many times we see devotees wearing t-shirt. I lost my heart in Vrindavan. But Parīkṣit Maharaj is giving us the formula. There is no need to lose your heart in Vrindavan. Better make your heart a Vrindavan. How we can invite Krishna in our heart? Very simple. Just 4 things we have to do. And these recommendations are coming from an elevated, self-realized devotee like Parīkṣit Maharaj, who is an acharya of Shravan. And he's asking this question, he's glorifying this, he's giving us formula for the benefit of all of us. So he's giving just 4 things we have to do, and we can invite Krishna in our heart, more man Vrindavan. Like Mahaprabhu said, our heart will become Vrindavan. So what are the 4 things? Śrṇvataḥ. We have to hear from a bona fide soul. And then with faith, śraddhayā. Second thing is, if you are hearing from a bona fide source, it should be with faith. Then third is nityam. Not occasionally, daily, regularly, always. Third thing. Fourth thing, gṛṇataś sva-ceṣṭitam. You have a bona fide source of hearing. We are hearing with the faith. We are hearing regularly. Then final thing is, with our own efforts, try to apply it in our life. Take it very seriously. So if we do these 4 things, hearing from a bona fide source, with faith, regularly, and taking the message very seriously, then kālena ati-dīrgheṇa bhagavān viśate hṛdi. The Krishna Swayam, he will personally enter in our heart, and our heart will become like a Vrindavan. So the process is very simple. And Prabhupada used to say, the process is simple, but requires sincere application. So what this is, then Prabhupada is saying in previous verse purport, it is the duty of a sane man to hear from a bona fide source. It is a duty. It's an injunction. It's not an option. It's a duty of a sane man. And Prabhupada, in his book, The Matchless Gift, on the first page itself, Prabhupada writes, in this material world, it is very difficult to find even one sane man. It is so easy to make our heart Vrindavan. Making our heart Vrindavan means, while we are living in this body, we'll be beyond the dualities of this world. And after leaving this body, we'll easily go back to Godhead. It is so easy. So it is the duty of every sane man to utilize this opportunity, to avail this opportunity to hear from a bona fide source. What do we see? Shotravya Rajendra Nirnam Santim Sahasrasha Apashatam Matvu Tattvam Grahashu Grahamedina. People are interested in hearing so many things, especially with this explosion of social media. So many topics are there. Overexposure. Overexposure. And people's minds become so flickering. These days, attention deficiency is a very common syndrome. We are not able to concentrate. So what we have to focus our concentration on? Hearing from the bona fide source. Okay. Now, śṛṇvataḥ. Now, each and every word of this verse is very, very important and requires detailed explanation, and we can learn a lot. Number one is śṛṇvataḥ, hearing. Now, Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj says that in this world, if we want to have experience of transcendental subject matters, the only way is through the ears. Through the ears only, by hearing only, one can go back to Godhead. But hearing from a bona fide source. These ears are very powerful organs, And Krishna has given us this human form of life. It's a wonderful gift. And this human body, these two ears are there. Okay. And these two ears Krishna has put in open condition. They're normally open. And one mouth, which is normally shut. So normally mouth is shut, ears are open. But people in this world are more interested in speaking than hearing. Freedom of speech, it's my right to speak. Just hear my voice. So many revolutions are there. Everyone wants to speak, and everyone wants that everyone should listen to me. But by design, we should hear more because they are kept in open condition. So the ears are most wonderful organs. Prabhupada says when someone is sleeping, how can you wake him up? You can't go and put, uncover his eyes on meditam, takshi on meditam. You can't remove his eyelids just by making some noise, sound vibration, then he will be awakened. Similarly, jeev jago. The sleeping soul can be awakened by sound vibration. Not only can be awakened, can be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Om Shabdat Anavriti. This sound vibration is so powerful. Okay. While we are living in this material world, if we are in touch with the bona fide transcendental sound vibration, we'll be happy. And after leaving this world also, we'll go back to Godhead. So hearing from this in these ears is so important. That's why Krishna is so eager to enter our heart. These ears are door to our heart. In the medical science, they won't find any connection of ear with the heart. They are ENT, ear, nose and throat. But in spiritual science, ears are connected with the heart. So if we hear transcendental message from a bona fide source through these ears, it will relieve us from the heart disease. Kamam hṛdi rogam. As long as we have this fire of lust burning in our heart, one can never be happy. So if we hear, this fire will be extinguished, and will develop love of God. Jasya vaishyamananam Krishna param punso bhakti utpadite punsa shok mo bhayapaha. Four things will happen. The love for Krishna will develop, shok mo bhayapaha. Shok, lamentation, moho, illusion, and bhay, fear. Past, present, and future. All kinds of anxieties are taken care if we hear properly and from the right source. So Krishna is very eager to enter our heart. That's why Prabhupada says oral reception. We have to hear, we have to receive Krishna through our ears into our heart. Now Krishna has put these ears in open condition. That doesn't mean that these ears should be opened for any kind of garbage to go in. No. That much a sane man should take care, hearing only from a bona fide source. That because if you are going on a highway and we are feeling hungry, we won't stop at any dhaba and take any kind of meal. We know this kind of a food is not pure. It can disturb my stomach. Similarly, we should be very, very careful from whom we are hearing. Because hearing and chanting is the diet for the soul. Already my soul is in disease condition, chronic disease. We are infected with material affection. So this disease has to be cured by hearing. This right medicine, bhava-oshadhi. The bhava-oshadhi is hearing the message of the Lord. So we should be very careful. That's why Prabhupada is warning us not to hear from professional reciters. Because professional writers, they are neither self-realized, nor do they have any good intention to deliver the audience. Once while, in Gita Marathon, we had an appointment with a very rich man in Delhi. So he went there. So he was a Vaishya, very pious man. And he told us, just recently I had a Bhagavad Saptaha. And he said, we spent lakhs of rupees. So he asked him, okay sir, what did you hear in Bhagavatam Saptaha? Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Amrish Maharaj, Kunti Maharani, Bhisham Pitama. We took all the names. His face was totally blank. What did you hear? Can you repeat any message? What did you hear? So I didn't, but it was very good. But what did you hear? What did you get? Nothing. What is the change in your life? Nothing. It was a big festival. So many friends, relatives came. Lakhs of rupees is spent, but no change in the heart. But if you are hearing from the right source, change has to happen. We see Srila Prabhupada, he went to the West, so much change. They were eager to hear. When the hippies, they had 2 golden rules. Number 1 rule was, any person above the age of 30 is a crazy person. And number 2, we will not hear any instructions. Now, if we have such kind of mentality, how difficult it is to give them the message. Prabhupada was 70-year-old. And Prabhupada gave them instructions, that too in Sanskrit. But they heard with faith. Because Prabhupada had good intentions. Prabhupada had brought the love of Godhead for them. Prabhupada was ever well-wisher. So it transformed their heart like anything. And they completely believed whatever Prabhupada said, they believed it. And it changed their hearts. So we have evidence from the scriptures, from our day-to-day life. In our own life we can see also. Now we are here sitting in Mayapur Dham discussing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. How fortunate we are. But a few years back, we were not so fortunate. Only by the association of devotees, hearing Srila Prabhupada, we could come to this stage. So hearing is this process. And then this hearing keeps us focused on the aim of our life. It keeps us sane. Even after coming to Krishna consciousness, we all have this experience. We are not completely relieved from the modes of passion and ignorance. Sometimes we may do very crazy things. But if we hearing regularly, we'll keep our sanity. We'll remain fixed on the goal of our life. There's a very wonderful verse in 2nd canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 37. What is that? Pibanti bhagavat atmana satam kathamritam shravan puteshu samritam punanti te vishaya vidushitashayam prajanti te charan sarhoruvantikam pibanti te bhagavat atmana satam. Those who drink, it has to be drunk. Pibanti te bhagavat atmana satam. These devotees, truthful devotees who drink what? Kathamritam, the nectar of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Shravan puteshu, through the ear holes. Sambritam, not drop by drop, full, fully filled. If we drink through these ears, then what happens? Punanti te vishaya vidushitashayam. It purifies what? Ashayam, our aim of life, which has been contaminated by the sense-created objects. Vishaya vidushitashayam. And then what happens after it purifies our aim of life? Vrajanti te charan suhur antukam. And then we walk towards the lotus feet of Lord. And Prabhupada says in this purport, all the problems of human society are due to polluted aim of life. And when we hear, not in small quantities, sambritam, just pouring the nectar through the ear holes. And wonderful thing about the ear hole is they are small, but they have unlimited capacity. It's not that if you are hearing too much katha, it will start overflowing. It has unlimited capacity. And more we hear, more we are purified, and then we are walking on the path back to Godhead. Hari Bol. Okay. So it keeps us sane. It keeps us focused on the aim of our life. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd canto, 21st chapter, when Brahmaji, after doing creation, Brahmaji gets bewildered and starts running after his own daughter, Vak. All the sages get bewildered. What has happened to our father? Brahmaji, what are you doing? It's a shameful thing. And Brahma is not able to control himself. Then all the sages pray for him. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes a very nice thing. Prabhupada says, Brahmaji got bewildered because on that morning, he did not hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Wonderful teaching. And we have all this experience. If we continuously miss Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class, our priorities in the life got distorted. We start developing so much of attraction for material things, which we have left. But we'll keep on reminding us. The hearing is so important. It keeps our consciousness fine-tuned. Now someone may ask, Prabhuji, now we are stressing because in the shloka verses stressing about hearing, you are stressing upon hearing. Normally we say, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam. So stick on one thing. on which we should focus, chanting of the holy name or hearing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? What do you say? Which is more important? On which thing we should focus upon? Because both are integrated. Unless we hear, we cannot chant. Srila Prabhupada in Adi Lila, he writes in the 7th chapter, 773 purport, he writes that Ishwar Puripad instructed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam daily and with scrutiny. That way, you will gradually develop attraction for chanting of the holy name. So if we hear and read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we know about Krishna, then we are chanting, we know whom we are calling. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. More we know Krishna's opulences and sweetness, more intense our chanting will become. And Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj says, the Hari Katha is the Sarup Shakti of Harinam. It is the Sarup Shakti of Harinam, Hari Katha. So that way it gives strength to chanting our holy name. And there are so many, whole Bhagavatam is filled with the glories of hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So we'll go to the next. This is hearing. Then śṛṇvataḥ. We should hear with faith. Faith in the message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Faith in the authority of the speaker. If the speaker is bona fide and is repeating the message as it is, we should have complete faith. You see, Prabhupada, when he landed in Boston from Jaldut, he saw the condition. It was so horrible. Everyone so much immersed in mode of passion and ignorance. Prabhupada was wondering how the message of Bhagavatam will enter their heart. But Prabhupada had firm faith in the message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And he started repeating those shlokas. Shravantam svakatha Krishna, punya shravana kirtana, hedyanta svaya badrane, vignoti smita sadam, nasht prayeshu badreshu. He repeated the shloka. He had full faith that the message of Bhagavatam really transformed their heart. And really transformed their heart. Prabhupada had full faith in words of his spiritual master. Prabhupada had full faith in the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prithvichiyate nagaradigram sarvat prachar haive morana. Once Prabhupada was sitting with his god brothers and they were discussing. Maybe Mahaprabhu when said Prithviyate, Prithviyate means only the land of Bharat Bhumi. Or Prithviyate means only Bengal. Prabhupada said, no, Prithviyate means Prithviyate, whole globe. The message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will spread. Prabhupada had firm faith. That's why this faith gave him strength to struggle, to tolerate all kinds of difficulties. So we should have firm faith in the message of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And the speaker is bona fide. We should have firm faith in the speaker. And what should we do when we are hearing? Bhakti-Siddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj says, we should lock up all our worldly arguments and logic. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, especially 5th canto, really tests our faith. And the whole cosmology is described. And 10th canto also tests our faith. How can the Supreme Personality of Godhead can dance with gopis, can steal butter, can tell lies? What kind of God is this? So it is our faith testers, especially canto 5 and canto 10. But we should have firm faith. Once Prabhupada had a disciple named Purushottam. And Prabhupada was having the massage, and on the TV they were showing moon landing. That they have landed on the moon. Prabhupada said, no, not possible. They can never land on moon. Now Purushottam, he had a full faith in scientific advancement. And he was thinking internally, my Guru Maharaj is an old man from a third world country. What America is so much advanced. We have made so many scientific advancements. They definitely landed on the moon. And he left ISKCON. He couldn't believe Prabhupada. Prabhupada was absolutely right. And later on, NASA admitted that they never landed on moon. So we should have faith. And we are having doubts, we should get it clarified. Otherwise, in this age of Kali Yuga, it's an age of doubts. Doubts and doubts. In all kind of relationships we see, there is no faith. Be it husband-wife, be it guru-disciple, authority-subordinate. Nowhere there is faith. It is filled with doubts. The whole atmosphere is filled with doubts. In such doubting atmosphere, it's very difficult to put faith. Very, very difficult. But Prabhupada has told us, books are the basis. So if we are sticking to Prabhupada's purports, then we can see this person is repeating Prabhupada's purports, then we can put faith. This faith is essential. This is the foundation of our spiritual life. Now you see, when we may be hearing the same thing, but if the degree of faith are different, the message will have different effects. Like Narad Muni, he gave message, he spoke Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam for Prahlad Maharaj. When Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb of his mother, Kayadhu. Narada Muni took Kayadhu in his ashram and he spoke Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Kayadhu also listened and Prahlad Maharaj also. But on Kayadhu there was no effect because Kayadhu was always in anxiety. She was always thinking of when her husband will return, whether my child will remain safe or not. Though she was hearing, but there is no change of heart. But Prahlad Maharaj was in desperate condition. He was in the womb of the mother. So when we hear, we should have this consciousness, this Hari Katha, this message of Bhagavatam is the real solution for all kinds of my problems. This will give me the solution. So with that kind of faith we should have. So you see the difference in Prahlad Maharaj and Kayadhu's consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada is writing in that purport that because Kayadhu was always in anxiety, she really didn't receive the message. To the degree we have faith in our spiritual master, to that degree the transcendental knowledge will be revealed in our heart. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasya vikaditanta prakashanta mahatmana. If we don't have faith, we may be hearing, we may be reading, but there is no change in the heart. Okay? Prahlad Maharaj, when he is instructing his classmates, the classmates were wondering from where you received the message, and he told them the whole story. Then he said, if you also keep the same faith in me, you can also receive the transcendental knowledge. And Prabhupada writing in the purport, this is the power of disciplic succession. Prahlad Maharaj put faith in the Narada Muni's word, and then he is instructing his classmates, please put the same faith in me, you can also receive this transcendental message, although you are the sons of demon. But still you are not the demons. You can. Prabhupada in this lecture is saying, 7, 18 or 19, Prabhupada is saying, Prahlad Maharaj is addressing, oh son of demons, like you all are sons of demons. But you are still not demons. So that way, we can see the faith is very important. Prabhupada also tells the story of a diamond thief. When a thief was looking around to steal something, and once some Bhagavatam Katha was going on, and by chance he sat in the Katha, and the reciter was telling about Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, how Yashoda Maiya decorates Lord Krishna with so many wonderful ornaments, diamonds, rubies, jewels and everything. That thief thought, what a wonderful thing. This little child, 4 or 5 year old, so many jewels, so many ornaments. Little child, I can always, take this. After the Katha was over, he went to the speaker. Please tell me more details. Where can I find this? What is his name? His name is Shyam Sundar. Where does he stay? He stays in Golok. Okay, how to go? You go in this way. He had full faith. And he just went to Vrindavan and started searching for Krishna. Krishna, 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 where are you? Where are you? He got so desperate because he was so eager and greedy to steal all those ornaments. Seeing his intense greed, Krishna personally appeared. And when Krishna appeared, then he forgot everything and he became fully surrendered devotee. So that way, we should hear with faith. It's very important. So śṛṇvataḥ, śraddhayā, nityam. Nityam is regularly, always. And Prabhupada says nityam bhagavad sevya, by regular attendance in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. Although the nityam means always, constantly, but practical application is at least daily we should hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay. So whatever may be our condition, in happiness or distress, we should take shelter of Bhagavatam. Like in material world, those who are addicted to drinking liquor, when they are happy, they celebrate with liquor. When they are morose, also then again take liquor. Similarly, we should get addicted to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Once in Los Angeles, Srila Prabhupada was not well. He had throat infection and he had to give the class. So from his room, he was going down. The disciples told him, Prabhupada, you are not well, you can take rest. And Prabhupada gave very nice instruction. Prabhupada says, no, if I don't go down for the Bhagavatam class now, I'll set the standards. That if you're not slightly well, you can skip the Bhagavatam class. So Prabhupada went there. Prabhupada sat on the Vyasasana. Prabhupada tried to speak. He couldn't speak. Then Prabhupada called one of his disciples. You gave the class. And Prabhupada sat and heard the class. So Prabhupada is setting the standards for it. It is so essential that we hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam daily. And nityam. Nityam means 24 hours. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, when Lord Chaitanya is instructing Sanatana Goswami, he says, describing about sadhana bhakti. And what is the purpose of sadhana bhakti? Tattam smaranam Vishnu vismaratam na jatuchit sarvidi nisheda eteva kinkara. Satatam smaratavya Vishnu. One should mold his life in such a way that 24 hours you are remembering Krishna. Then Prabhupada is writing the point, but that means 24 hours one should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then Prabhupada is writing the next line, then it is not possible, we have so many services. Then what should one do? At least Prabhupada is writing, before starting any services, we should try to complete our 16 rounds first. Okay. That's why Prabhupada has given us this wonderful morning program. If we do this wonderful morning program very consciously and cautiously, whole day we can remain Krishna conscious. Our morning program should be we should be so much absorbed in this morning program, hearing and chanting, that we carry the fragrance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in all of our activities. Normally what happens is, we bring the bad smell of materialistic life in our chanting and hearing. When we are chanting, we are thinking of something else, When we are hearing also, then we are not focused. But if we are chanting and hearing, when focused, then all the activities in the day can be, permeated with the proper Krishna consciousness. That way, nityam. And whatever is our distress, we should take shelter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. You see, in 2021, when the second wave of Corona came, so I have a very close relative. The whole family was down with Corona, and it was very, very, very bad situation. Prabhuji and Mataji both are initiated devotees. They are down with Corona. Son, daughter also down with Corona. And in Delhi, no hospital available, no oxygen cylinders available. And the Prabhuji's oxygen level going down and down. The son took him to different nursing homes. Situation is deteriorating. Then somehow he got some arrangement from Delhi to Chandigarh, 250 kilometers. Okay, I'll take my father to Chandigarh. He got some arrangement and he'll get him admitted there. Very difficult to arrange ambulance. A lot of difficulties, 6 hours journey in anxiety. We reached Chandigarh. I was also accompanying him. He was in the ambulance, I was in the car behind. He himself, the son himself was chanting 16 rounds, not initiated. For the last 5-6 days, he couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, himself having fever. Father's condition is very critical. The moment he got down from the ambulance, he requested me one thing. He said, Prabhu, can you please arrange first canto of Bhagavatam for me? Canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. I was so pleasantly surprised. Somehow I went to Chandigarh temple and brought the Bhagavatam first canto I gave him. And he studied Bhagavatam first canto. He specially studied Vishwadev leaving his body. He tried his best. He couldn't save his father. His father left the body. But seeing his faith in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in such situation, I really wondered what Prabhupada, this is the magic, And it really gave me a lot of strength. Okay, yes, he was not a very old devotee, 3-4-year-old devotee. And he was very well-read, MBA gold medalist and everything. But he had so much of faith in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Similarly, we should have, that's why Prabhupada says the process is simple, but requires sincere application. We should have faith. And then he shared with me, when he was reading the purports in that episode of Bhisham Pitama, Prabhupada is writing one line, when the situations are beyond your control, there is no point in lamentation. This gave him strength. I am trying my best, situation is not under my control, so there is no point in lamenting. Just keep on trying my best. So that way, the Bhagavatam can give us the strength. Nityam, whatever may our situation, Bhagavatam is matek sangi, matek bandhu. It's my real friend. Okay. So nityam, śṛṇvataḥ, śraddhayā, nityam, gṛṇataś sva-ceṣṭitam. We should take the message very, very seriously. Very serious. Seriously, like when we come for the class, we should be very serious in preparing for the class. Normally, the speaker prepares for the class. The audience is not so well prepared. Mahārāja, Bhakti Prabhu Mahārāja gave a very wonderful example on this. He quoted His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj that what it means to take Bhagavatam seriously. That when we are coming for the class, the day before, we should read the shloka, which will be discussed next morning. Not only read and study, memorize that shloka. Then we'll be able to get the message. So that way, we can try as much as we can. And then Krishna will see our serious intentions, then Krishna will reciprocate. So taking that matter seriously means coming to the class, being seriously prepared. Second, taking the matter seriously means when we are hearing, we should hear in a very prayerful mode, humble mode, service mode. Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj says, we should hear with service-inclined ears. It's a service. Normally the speaker, when he has to deliver, he prays from the deepest core of his heart. Let me repeat the message as it is. Let me keep, my... let my performance be okay. No, I should not be exposed. So he has a lot of fears also. And he'll praying that let me be aligned with Guru Parampara. So he has a lot of stakes. But an audience doesn't have so many stakes. They can sleep also. They can they can switch on their smartphone also. They can do anything. So that way, if we take the matter seriously, we should also pray earnestly that this message, like the speaker is praying that I should deliver the right message, the hearer should also pray that I should receive the right message. Then, third, taking it seriously means making efforts to apply it in my life. Shravanam, mananam, nijidhyasnam. How it is relevant for me. Prabhupada is writing very nice thing in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd canto. Voluntary endeavors is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. We want to get perfection in spiritual life, voluntarily endeavors. We have to endeavor, sva-ceṣṭitam. Sometimes we feel that spiritual advance is automatic. Spiritual advancement is not automatic. Evolution from the lower species of life to the human form of life is automatic. An Aquarius doesn't have to meditate that I become a tree. Tree doesn't have to meditate I'll become a bird. Bird doesn't have to meditate I'll become an animal. No. Natural evolution will come to the human form of life. And by the causeless mercy of Krishna and devotee, we get the Bhakti Lata Bij also. But after that, the responsibility is with the gardener. I am that gardener. I have to cultivate this seed of devotional service with hearing and chanting. So I have to make efforts. You see, Shraddha. Shraddha means the life of Shraddha is enthusiasm. In Bhaktya Lok, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the life of Shraddha is enthusiasm. So those who say we have Shraddha, they should be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm means action. Endeavors with intelligence. So if you have really heard with Shraddha, with faith, we'll be enthusiastic to apply it in our life. That's why hearing means following. We have to follow. Sva-ceṣṭitam. We have to make endeavors. We may fail, but again we have to make endeavors. Again we may fail, we may make again endeavors. That keeps us humble. And that brings the prayerful mood. We hear so many times, we should chant attentively. Then we should make efforts to chant attentively. The difference between Namaprad and Namabha stage is endeavors. How sincerely we are endeavoring. We hear that we should associate with devotees in a humble mood. How much we are trying to apply it in our life. Then we get mercy of Krishna. Only by efforts we attract the mercy. Damodar Leela, Yashoda Maya is making efforts, then it attracts Krishna's mercy. So that way we should try to apply it in our lives. Nityam, sva-ceṣṭitam, śṛṇvataḥ, śraddhayā, nityam, gṛṇataś, sva-ceṣṭitam. kālena, ati-dīrgheṇa, bhagavān, viśate, hṛdi. If you are doing these 4 things sincerely, then Krishna within no short time will enter our heart. Now Krishna is always staying in our heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hṛdaya deshe arjuna tishtati sva-ceṣṭaham hṛdi sarnavishto. And what is meant by Krishna entering the heart? So it has 2 meanings. Vishwanath Thakur says in his commentary. One is, if you are making efforts like this in chanting and hearing, then remembrance of Krishna becomes effortless. We have to make efforts in chanting and hearing, then remembrance becomes, smaranam becomes effortless. And the essence of Krishna consciousness is smaranam. Etavan sankhya yoga abhyam swadharma paranishthaya janma labha pura punsa ante narayane smriti. So, but if you have throughout our life you have made efforts, wonderful efforts in chanting and hearing, then smaranam becomes effortless. Second thing, Vishwanath Thakur says, bhagavān viśate hṛdi means that when Krishna, in our heart is the super soul. Super soul is like neutral, supreme jal, updrishta, anumanta, bharta, bhokta, maheshwara. But when Krishna enters through sound vibration, Krishna makes the living entity attached to him. The living entity develops attachment for Krishna. when Krishna enters into our heart. So that way, when Prahlad Maharaj heard from Narad Muni is describing to Yudhishthira Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj became Krishna Graha Grahastha. Normally people are influenced by evil planets, Rahu and Ketu. But Prahlad Maharaj was influenced by the planet of Krishna. And there he becomes Govind Parirambhata, being embraced by Govind. Always he was embraced by Govind, Krishna. So Krishna will enter our heart and embrace us. We have to do this only 4 things: hearing from the right source, and then with faith, and regularly, and then making efforts, taking it seriously. Then we invite Krishna into our heart. How Krishna into our heart and what does he do after entering into our heart is explained in the next verse. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments? Maharaj, any corrections? Comments? Push me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a inspiring class. I had one question that you just mentioned that we should hear with the service ears or service-oriented ears.
Service-inclined ears.
So, this service attitude is like not always living. I mean, sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes. Because always we are not in connected so much with remembrance of Krishna and conscious of Guru's service and Krishna's service. Maybe in passion and ignorance we forget that what we are doing, it should be done in mode of service. So how to maximize it? Like sometimes for hearing we could just hear. That also if we take it to be service, then it's easy. Otherwise we tend to sleep and like that. So how to take everything in the mood of service?
Yeah. So how to hear in a service mode? We forget. Though we know we have to hear we have to perform service in the service mode. We forget. So point is, Prabhuji, is with devotees association. If we associate with the devotees, with the right kind of devotees, so that will keep us inspired. I mean, when you see a living example, so that will keep us inspired. And again, the solution is hearing in the association of devotees. So we hear regularly more and more and more. So then it definitely pierce our heart. Something will enter into our heart, and that will inspire us. Okay. So always remain the association of devotees, and we associate with those devotees. Like Shushu Shaddhananam Vasudeva Katharuchi Satmya Sevya Vitra Punya Tirtha Nishemanat. By serving those devotees who have taste for hearing, we are also infected with that taste. So remain in the association of devotees and we try our best. So gradually this will improve. Yes.
Puji Hare Krishna. Puji, we were reading yesterday this Gundicha Marjan from Chaitanya Charitamrita. There Prabhupada said in shloka number 135, Madhya Leela, chapter number 12, he explained the Krishna how we should prepare our heart to invite Krishna within our heart. And there he also explained that Krishna helps if somebody endeavor to clean his heart because he is within also as a Paramatma. So can you explain how we can understand this? He is within and he is not, he is not in a dirty heart and he is inside also as a Paramatma.
Yeah, Krishna is residing as a super soul. Krishna remains neutral. Okay. For a materialistic person, Krishna will give him the instructions, help him to fulfill his materialistic desires. Okay. But when a Krishna sees the living entity is getting anxious, developing some desire to develop love for him, then Krishna reciprocates. Then super soul becomes active. Then Rishikesha, Gudakesha, in that verse, Prabhupada says that when one becomes Gudakesh, beyond the modes of ignorance, then the communication with Rishikesh opens. So when we try to rise above the modes of nature, when we are following Krishna consciousness process, then Krishna reciprocates. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajatam priti purva dadami bodhayakam. And when you are not following it, Krishna remains neutral. Okay. What do you want? Material, eating, meeting, sleeping, defending? I'll give you all facilities. Krishna is watching. That. Back.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for nice class. I want to know, like you said about we should be very particular about hearing, selective hearing. As well as many times we hear that we have to hear from self-realized soul. And you gave the class, you gave the one of the Srila Prabhupada story that how he was listening from his disciple. But many times in my case it happens that I just kind of, oh, this is a high advanced devotee, oh, I'll go to his class, I'll skip his class, so like that. So what is the right consciousness? Because here multiple classes are happening in different language. So I choose to prefer, so is it wrong? How to understand this one? Can you enlighten me in this?
Multiple classes is a very nice thing. So like Prithu Maharaj, you should pray, I should get million of years. That in each class I should sit and So, I mean, point is, Prabhu, like Prabhupada is hearing from his disciples, you know. The disciples may not be self-realized, but is repeating the message of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So, I am not self-realized, but trying to repeat the message of Srila Prabhupada, so we should hear. Then by hearing, we are pleasing Srila Prabhupada. With this consciousness, we should sit in the class. It has been arranged by the authorities, bona fide authorities. The whole system is arranged. It's a facility being given to us for hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So this is for me, and whatever is the system, I should follow that. And if I find some discrepancy, then I should report to the authority. You know, there might be some discrepancy in the speakers, so we can then report. If we observe some, then we can report. But we should sit in the class and hear. And now you in the Mayapur, you have special facility, you have three languages, and you know all the 3 languages. So that way you decide and use your intelligence, but that way, whichever is more inspiring to you, you hear. But daily we should hear. Back.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. We are hearing for a few days that we should hear Bhagavatam every day. Even today's verse is saying like this. But we see, especially here in Mayapur, a few times in a year, the Bhagavatam class is cancelled because there is another program scheduled. I noticed that it happens a few times in a year because there is a book distribution, award ceremony, or inauguration of festival, or something happening with TOVP. So the Bhagavatam classes are cancelled on those days. I don't see this so much outside Mayapur, but happens in Mayapur. Shouldn't the management understand that they cannot cancel the Bhagavatam class and schedule the program outside of this? Because Prabhupada said, like, you cannot skip any day. Like, you gave an example yourself.
Yeah, but it's beyond my purview. I cannot comment on this. You know, so what can I comment, Prabhu? You know, there are exceptions. So I mean, you can discuss. They all are very advanced devotees. I mean, they may have some good answers for that. It's not beyond my scope, you know. Sorry. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your inspiring and enlivening class. Prabhuji, my question is that sadhana, I mean to say, attentive hearing and chanting, but in the name of seva, the devotional services, sometimes our sadhana get compromised. And seva we do here 8 to 9 hours, who does full-time seva. So how to make a balance between sadhana and seva, because both are important?
Yeah, both are important. So, Vaishashika Prabhu says a very nice thing in his book, Family Business. He gives a very nice quote. The main thing is to keep the main thing always the main thing. The main thing is to keep the main thing always the main thing. If your sadhana is not proper, we cannot perform service in right consciousness. It's not possible. And the purpose of all the services is to develop our attachment for hearing and chanting. In fact, our business is Kirtaniya Sadahari. This is our business. Because we cannot do that, that's why the same services are given. But the purpose of service is dharma śṛṇvataḥ punsa vishwaksen kathasvira nautpada yadiratim shameva kriya. Some emergencies are there, some festivals are there, okay. Exceptions may be there, but it should not become the routine. that we are so much absorbed in services that we are neglecting our sadhana. And that's very dangerous actually. And early morning, that's why Prabhupada has given morning program. Morning program is just for self, fully absorbed. So such a wonderful facility is given, no other mutt, nothing. Just 6-7 hours for us only. So if you do it nicely, then whole days we are public servant. We are dasanudas, then we are at service. That way. Right. Okay. So thank you very much. gṛṇataḥ Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Nityam Gaur Premanande.